the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Stupid update. All right, we're live now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. And how you doing tonight? As qualifying is kicking off here tonight. My name is K.R. Stolfus, and we have the NSRA Sunday Select Series here at Daytona tonight. In the booth with me is none other than the illustrious Travis Elliott. And Travis, drivers starting to roll out for qualifying.
Yeah, apparently it wants me to see Jimmy Reynolds' lap because he's the first one to grid, it seems. So saw a lot of fun happening up in practice before the qualifying started, KR, and got a nice tight field of about, what is that, 18 cars. So hopefully we'll have a pretty solid race tonight.
Chris Akers in the Reese's 4 machine making his way onto the backstretch. Jason Grames in the 40 machine, one of the first ones out and up to speed. He's going to sail it off into turn number 3, but J.R. Johnson crossing the start-finish line. This 37 machine looking to make some noise here tonight.
Yeah, we saw, man, I completely forgot what happened. Been 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
We were last here January, or I'm sorry, not here, but broadcasted January 31st at Talladega. Hunter Reynolds walked away with the win on that one.
Yeah, everything's so scrambled. It's almost like we just started a brand new season, fresh slate, which, I mean, I'm sure a lot of these guys with how the points are would love the start of a new season, but one race at a time, Kiara.
One race at a time is right, and Daniel Holloway comes into tonight as your points leader. Paul Servant in the 3. Well, he sits in a 3rd in the points standings, and Anthony English in second spot. English not out here just yet. We'll see if he's going to make it here tonight. But Daniel Holloway leading the points. He has a 7-point lead over English, and Paul Servant another 10 points behind the points leader.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Anthony's not here tonight. Hopefully, excuse me, he's all good. I know a lot of the Midwest got a whole lot of snow, a whole lot of people lost their power and stuff, but yeah, it's just gonna make that points race a little bit more scary, especially with Paul Servant being so close behind, and we know how Paul Servant is. Almost like Kevin Harvick, just comes out of nowhere, even if he's having a bad race, and somehow he pulls out a pretty solid finish. Kind of like the 04 Mark Mancar as he's coming to his 2nd time lap. And he slaps that thing on pole by a decent amount over Josh Milam, which is a name that we haven't seen this season, right, KR?
Josh Milam in the 7 machine out here tonight. He's going to fall to 3rd as J.D. Crow puts himself up into 2nd. And Josh Milam has not made a start here on a Sunday night this season.
So I know Mr. Josh Milam fairly well, and be interested to see what he does out here tonight. He's a pretty solid racer, if I say so, in my opinion, KR.
16 drivers have rolled across and taken a time. Hunter Reynolds jumps up into 2nd place And with 16 drivers taking a lap time so far, 3 drivers have not made it out. Stephen Herman, or I shouldn't say made it out, but have not registered a time. The 7-Eleven machine of Squirman Herman is starting his fast lap as he now puts his car into 17th spot. So with all of that being said, guys, we are going to step away for the national anthems here tonight. Please join me as we honor both countries being represented by our drivers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the drivers are starting to roll off for the first time, that means we get to go through our starting lineup here tonight. Mark Mann laying down a heck of a lap, 47.656 on his outside, going to be Hunter Reynolds. Row number 2 going to be J.D. Crow in the 17 machine and the 27 of Sean Stevens. Row 3 going to be Josh Milam in the 7 and the 3 of Paul Servant. On row number 4 going to be the 62 of Les Levy and Jimmy Reynolds. Row 5 going to be Russell Hancock and Daniel Holloway in the 21 machine.
In row number 6, the number 4 of Chris Akers and the 9 of Pondo Co. Row number 7, the 40 of Jason Grams and the 37 of J.R. Johnson. Row number 8 is going to be the 31 of Todd Poston and the 88 of Dana Osborne. Row number 9, the 7-11 of Stephen Herman himself and the 63 of Mikhail Hinton, and bringing up the rear of the field, the 82 of Daniel Harrington.
That is our starting lineup here tonight for race 5 of 13 in this 13 race season. Mark Mann on pole for this one. He is bringing the field around. The pace car going to peel off, and then that 4 machine and the 26 are going to get after it. And drag race into turn number 1. Pace car down and away. Green flag is out, and we are underway here tonight as the 04 Markman has the advantage for the moment. Got a good jump on the 26. Everyone staying nice and tightly packed as they're going to head off into turn number 1.
Markman's doing such a good job leading the field into turn 1, but the 27 and the 3 are going to get hooked up with the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, and he's going to have a lot of momentum coming around that outside. It looks like that outside is moving fairly well, and it looks like the 26 is going to be able to clear Mark if he wants to, and he drops down to the bottom line. I think that's one of the best outside line starts that we've seen on an initial start of a race, and they're keeping that momentum going forward. A little bobbled by the 17 of JD Crow there on the bottom. Got a little hairy. Looks like Sean Stevens is making a run to the outside, and it looks like he might lead lap 1 of this race tonight, KR.
Yeah, Sean Stevens was at the start-finish line first. He's going to pick up lap number 1. That outside lane already showing some big promise. Hunter Reynolds has already used it to drop down in front of the 04 Markman, and now Sean Stevens trying to use it to take the lead down the backstretch.
Yeah, it's very unusual to see the outside line forming this early, as we're 3 wide. Daniel Osborne shooting it through the middle to get to the bottom, and there's a small checkup on the outside line, killing the momentum. That's going to allow Hunter Reynolds just to pull up through, and that's going to cause an accordion effect down the back on the outside line, and it's really killed that momentum of the outside line, KR.
It has killed that momentum, but Sean Stevens in the 27 staying in that lane. Markman in the 04 has cleared Sean Stevens. The 17 machine of JD Crow running a new paint scheme here tonight. He now is hoping to clear the 27 as Markman moves up, and Sean Stevens going to give him a shot on the back bumper, and Markman going to carry a lot of speed into turn 3.
Yeah, big bump by the 27 there. Looked like it got Mark a little squirrely, and it looks like he's drifting up slightly. Now, I talked to one of the drivers before the race. He said it was about 16, 17 laps per tank, but I thought it was going to be a pretty chill race tonight. But we're 3 wide. Jimmy Reynolds stuck in the middle of the Candy Shack guys with the 31 of Todd Poston. They got that all sorted out, and that's going to have the 21 and the 4 past Jimmy as he got cleared to the bottom. And once again, Kara, there's the outside line. They're getting just massive runs out of turn 2 down the back straight. It looks like Mark Mann's going to clear Hunter going into turn 3 right there.
Mark Mann back to the race lead. He's going to try and lead his first lap of the race. Our pole sitter back to the front. The 26 of Hunter Reynolds down on the bottom as we're going to go 3 wide. Paul Servant in the 3 in the outside lane trying to get by the 27 of Sean Stevens. Now Stevens is going to have Milam tuck in behind him. This middle lane might have some momentum as they're going to get crossed up a little bit going into turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like Josh got a little square. They're pinching hard on the 7, Josh Milam and Paul Servant. You have the 3 Candy Shack boys up top riding that high side, and Josh is going to go all the way to the bottom and go behind the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. And KR, we are 3 wide at the front of the pack on lap number 5 coming to 6. And I think these guys are just ready to go at it this entire race, which makes me a little bit excited.
Oh, and there they go. The 17 goes around. Big stack up.
Looks like a little bit of iRacing assisted help there between the 3 and the 17. Got a little too close for the sim, and caused that contact between the 3 and the 17. That caused a big pile up there, KR.
That it did. Let's take another look at this one. The 17 and the 3 are going to smack the wall. Dana Osborne goes down pit road. 4 other cars go flying down a pit lane. Jimmy Reynolds, one of those as well. Dan Harrington getting involved in this one. Take another look here as Harrington gets on the binders trying to slow down. Gonna make contact with Jason Graves, who is trying to bring it to a stop as well. A lot of cars torn up in this one. It starts at the front with the 17 of JD Crow.
Yeah, I mean, things are getting a little heated there, which I'm not too mad about, but we're going to have a lot of people taking their fast repair here, and It's unfortunate to see how netcode's been just plaguing a lot of people's problems this past weeks. Hopefully iRacing has that kind of in the notes, as Mark Mann's leading the field to pit road.
So the 04 on the pit lane for the first time here tonight. You mentioned several drivers are going to have to take a fast repair. One car who did not come down pit road, that is the 37 of J.R. Johnson. I'm going to see if he's going to stay out or what, but he is a little bit torn up. Mark Mann wins the race off of pit road. Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam. Those top three cars coming off of pit lane. So with all that being said, guys, we're going to step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are starting to make their way off of pit road. That we're trying to wrap up some damage, quite a few of them, not burning some fast repairs. Some of them not even having to worry about it too much. The 3 machine, we saw him tore up quite a bit. Paul Servant in the 3 used a fast repair. He is going to restart third row inside lane. Advantageous for him to burn that fast repair and keep his track position. Meanwhile, Chris Akers, Jason Graves, Daniel Holloway, they're back a little bit. And in fact, Chris Akers no longer on the lead lap, or is he on the lead lap? I'm not sure. Felt like that was close.
I believe he got out just before the pace car passed the pit exit. So he's on the lead lap. He's motoring up back to the field, going into turn 1. The field's going into turn 3. So he's got a little bit of a ways to go before he catches back up. But yeah, a lot of guys on pit road for an extended amount of time. You know, the 31 of Todd Poston, the 40 of Jason Grames, the 62 of Les Levy, 711 Stephen Herman. A lot of guys, extended time on pit road, KR.
All right, lights are out on the pace car. It gets out of the way. Mark Mann once again bringing this field to the green of flag. He's running a Dale Earnhardt tribute on the nose of that thing. The 04 on the throttle, and we are back underway here for our 80-lap race at Daytona.
Yeah, it looks like the outside line is not going to get near good start there. Just too spread out in the pack, but Hunter Reynolds is going to be clear at the bottom here. Not going to jump down to the bottom. I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of patience happen with the field tonight after that pretty sizable wreck a few laps ago, KR. They already had the field's already spread out pretty far. A lot of guys under power. Just watching here. Looks like we got one peeling off pit road. Looks like it's the 37 of J.R. Johnson. Unscheduled pit stop for him, or it's scheduled. because he needs to get fuel here. What do you think?
Johnson was one of the cars who got tore up in that big melee on the front stretch. So maybe the car not to his liking just yet, trying to hammer out some more damage, maybe having to burn a fast repair. We'll see. He's sitting on pit road. He's 8 seconds in his pit lane. He's going to end up going a lap down here, though.
Yeah, he's taking 4 tires. Wouldn't advise taking 4 tires at Daytona, especially when you're not running a full tank. And yeah, it looks like he's doing something. So we'll see where he pops out here. Hopefully he can get back up here racing for contention. I feel like he's a sleeper, you know. Doesn't really make a whole lot of noise during the race, but when he does, he's right there at the end. I remember at the iRacing Super Speedway a few weeks back, he was running down the Ford of Anthony English at the end. So hopefully he can get back out on track.
Speaking of the iRacing Super Speedway, we're going to be there next Sunday night, February 28th. Make sure you set your calendars for that one. That is always an exciting race. They've really hauled these cars off into the corner, and I look forward to going back there. Travis, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I didn't know that the NSRA Sunday Select Series was, and when I was told that a few weeks ago, I was very excited because surprisingly, one of the cleanest races. I think there was 1 caution, if I remember correctly. So I'm interested to see if we get more cars out there, if we can, you know, throw a little bit of mayhem in that race, a little bit more carnage. But you know, I'm excited.
I'm with you on that excitement. It is always a good time. And right now, our drivers out on track. Mark Mann, your race leader, the 26, Hunter Reynolds. The 7, Josh Milam, sitting in a third, second car on the inside line. And then it's the 27 of Sean Stevens on that second lane, second car. And we're coming up very quickly to that J.R. Johnson machine. This field's going to swallow him up. We're working lap 13 of 80. And now you mentioned 16 laps on fuel. And so with that being said, we might see these guys start hitting pit lane in about 7 to 8 laps, as we're kind of getting close to the halfway mark of this fuel run.
Yeah, especially with like an early caution in the race. And it's going to get a little tight, but they have plenty of room. It looks like the 88, which I didn't realize the 88 of Dana Osborne is driving a new car. He's no longer driving that, what was it, like a no, it's still got Navy on the back, but he's got Chips Ahoy on the hood and going that Candy Shack stable in true fashion. But yeah, you know, the early caution really can change the strategy of a race like this. You know, you can kind of go backwards and see how many pit stops you need from here if you have somebody like a sim racing apps or some sort of what would that be? I don't know what you have somebody working out the fuel for you. You can kind of figure out how much fuel you need for the rest of the race. So it'd be interesting to see. I feel like the past couple times we've had races, we've had a lot of fuel strategy come into the end. So I'm excited to see how this race is going to play out through the entire thing.
Yeah, we have seen these go very long on green flag runs as well. And so you kind of have to plan for that, but be ready for anything to pop up. So the 26, Hunter Reynolds, drops down to the front of that inside line. He's going to try and lead this lap. Sean Stevens in the 27 machine. You know, Stevens won the season opener at Talladega. He would like to pick up another win here this season. And he has been putting his car in position for those wins, just not able to pull them off just yet. In fact, he's had a great season, 2 top 5s and 1 win. So great season here as we're already into race number 5 of 13. Kind of the halfway mark for our regular season, just a 10 race regular season and then a 3 race chase.
Yeah, I feel like Sean is always, like you said, his car is always there, but his luck just runs out on the last lap most of the time, and it'd be cool to see him get a second one and get locked into the chase here. And as I'm watching some of these cars going to the turns, I noticed about 2 laps ago, the 88 Dana Osborne got a little loose coming out of turn number 4. So I'm wondering if these cars have a little bit of dartiness, a little free coming out of the turns here. As 28 of Jimmy Reynolds is getting pushed by the 88 up to Daniel Harrington's bumper, who was involved in that caution earlier. He's back up running in the top 5, being scored right now in 4th place. 4th, 5th place, just about. But he's making a lot of headway with that outside line, starting to form up a little bit more. They have the 28, the 88, the 63, and the 37 kind of loosely joining them. So we'll see if they can make this work with 2 cars. And if they can get this to work with 2 cars, KR, I think we're going to see a lot of fun racing throughout for the rest of this race.
We ride on board with Jimmy Reynolds in the 28 as he is tucked in behind the 82 of Dan Harrington. But the field now looks like they have settled down. We mentioned it right before that caution came out. They were going 3 wide. People were trying to make something happen. Things were looking a little bit rowdy. And now we've been pretty solid 2 wide, everyone given a lot of room. And here we are into a long green flag run, or what kind of feels like a long green flag run. We haven't got to our first set of green flag pit stops just yet.
Yeah, I think, and just as I start to think, we're going to be pretty calm. The 88 Dana Osborne takes it to the high side of the 28. Pinches him down slightly, causes Jimmy to check up, and he's going to drop down in front of Jimmy if he can, I'm assuming. Yep. And Dana just wanted Jimmy's position. Now he's the 3rd car on the outside line. It was a good pass by him. He went with the run and completed the pass, and Jimmy gave him just enough room to make that move. But yeah, I'm assuming we're gonna have green flag pit stops in about 4 or 5 laps, maybe 6 if people want to get a little fancy and try to stretch this fuel out. But we're coming to that first green flag stop, and with the 88 dropping to the bottom, I would assume it's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 laps for the Candy Shack Motorsports guys.
Yeah, they're starting to line up on the inside line, the 88 and the 3 running nose to tail right now. We do have 18 cars on the lead lap. There are 18 cars in this lead pack. One car, however, has fallen off the pace just a little bit. That is the 4 Chris Akers. He has lost the draft, and he finds himself about 15.5 seconds behind the race lead.
Yeah, and he sat in the pits as the pace car came around. I don't know if he had something happen to the car, or it definitely made him lose time, and he had to catch back up to the pack. It probably didn't help that he probably has still a little too much damage from that wreck. It really just killed his pace. Now it looks like the 27 is still trying to fight with the 82. The outside line's a little bit more cohesive. They have fewer cars, but they look like they're a more stable line, as they're a little bit closer together than they were. But I don't think that outside line's really trying to push too hard. I think they're just trying to maintain position. If they can pass, which they get pretty good runs out of turn number 2, KR. I don't know if you're noticing that.
Yeah, that outside lane usually does get a good run down the backstretch here at Daytona, and not able to take full advantage of that run, as the 26 Hunter Reynolds has the lead quite solidly in hand for the moment. We're going to complete lap 22 and start lap 23. This outside lane creeping back up to the door of the 26.
Yeah, they're finally even after being past 4 to 5 laps, and they're going to be door to door with the 26. I'm wondering if that's because the 04 Mark Mann's having to to air out his car a little bit. He's been pushing Hunter pretty hard in this past couple laps, and he's going to get right back up on Hunter's bumper and give him a big shove. But as he does that, the outside line's getting more and more momentum together, and they're able to maintain their spot closer and closer as we have, you know, the top 6. Or no, that's not the top 6. I can't count. That's the top 10. Side by side, and then single file on back. So a lot of differing strategies coming around here, KR, as you know, we're going to be hitting pit road in the next lap or two, I would assume. A lot of guys trying to get to the bottom of the track. And with how that outside line just died off, I'm assuming a lot of people are going to be coming the next 2 laps here.
All right, so here we go, getting ready for a round of green flag pit stops. Chris Akers already on the pit road. And we're going to see who's going to peel away. Stephen Herman on the pit lane, Russell Hancock, Todd Poston. So 3 wide motorsports going to hit pit road first.
If I'm assuming we're going to see the probably that entire inside line hit pit road this next time, and then the guys that are stuck on the outside. Or if they can get down, we're probably going to see the entire field pit here. So 18 cars or 15 cars all hitting pit road at the same time. So this is going to be a fun one.
All right, so the 26 making his way off of turn number 4, and here they come, a big set of drivers on the pit lane.
They got to the cones pretty cleanly. That's probably the best green flag entry to the pits that we've seen this season, Kay. I don't know about you, but that looked like a group of guys that were determined to get on and off pit road really quick, as it looks like the 31 of Todd Poston, the 711 of Stephen Herman, and Russ Hancock kind of a little bit spread out. The 711 and 343 are nose to tail, and Todd has a 4.5 second lead on them, so not looking too good for them, but he might get lucky and get saved by the pack exiting pit road. And it looks like that other set of drivers, the 9 of Pondo Co., the 63 of Mikhail Hinton, and the 17 of JD Crow, all hitting pit road this time by. So we already see guys going on 3 different laps. We're going to see fuel strategy the rest of this race, KR.
All right, Hunter Reynolds leads the drivers who made pit stops. He has the 21 of Daniel Holloway on his back bumper. JD Crow, Pondo Co., and Michael Hinton starting to make their way out of pit lane. But I'll tell you what, Hunter Reynolds has this full head of steam. He's going to swallow up that 63 machine very quickly. And now Pondo Co. and JD Crow are going to be left in the dust as well. And Hunter Reynolds in the 26 had the lead before he came down pit road, and now has the lead once again.
Yeah, we got a new buddy up underneath the 26 of Hunter Reynolds, the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Was running in the end of the line of that leading pack, kind of being quiet. He got involved in that lap 7 wreck, and he's out here running P2 now, pushing the leader. As typical fashion, KR, field's nice and spread out for a, what would it be, a 60 plus lap green flag run.
Very well could be. Right now, the 26 is out in front. Holloway second, Mark Mann in third. Then it's Paul Servant and Josh Milam in his first start here on our Sunday Select Series. That is your top 5. These 5 cars have broken away from the rest of the field. Dana Osborne in the 88 trying to close in on him. He is falling back just a little bit, and he might end up losing the draft here. He does not seem to be gaining on them, and Osborne now I feel like Osborne going to lose the draft here as he is falling behind. He's going to need this group to check up a little bit so he can catch them.
Yeah, he's in what is essentially no man's land, KR. He has no help in front or behind, so the closest people and his best bet is going to be either the 3 of Paul Servant, his teammate, drag the brake a little bit and try to get him within half a second of him to really make that ground up, or hope that this 3-car pack of the 31, 17, and 9 and that line being led by Les Levy kind of coming back together, and was that about 8 cars and then 2 more cars behind them, so 10-car line right here. We'll see how they fare out compared to this top 5 that's right now. Josh Milam is side by side with the 3 of Paul Servant, so I'm wondering if the 3 is trying to drop back if he can.
I'm gonna say he was, because while he was doing that, it allowed Dana Osborne to close in, and Osborne is now in draft range of the 3 of Paul Servant in that sweet zone where you start to actually suck up to the back bumper. He was falling back, and then Paul Servant lifted a little bit, started dragging the brake. That has allowed Dana Osborne to get that draft and start pulling in to this pack. So that's some good teamwork there.
Yeah, he's for sure in their toe right now. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. As we saw Paul Servant a few weeks back, if I remember correctly, he went to the complete back of the pack to pick up, I think it was Dana after some sort of incident, going on pit road or something like that, and helped them get back up there. And that's just good teamwork and looking out for your guys out on the track, because Dana Osborne's pretty much back up to this pack. He's airing around 0.7 of a second back, so he's still not quite there, but it looks like he's slowly reeling them in. But behind them, we have a big old line of cars that are now 2x2. They're about 4 seconds back, so they're going to have to try to figure something out to really get going forward, as they are bobbing and weaving, snaking all over the track. And this pack is being led by the 31 of Todd Poston and the 17 of JD Crow. So, I mean, Kara, if I was them, I'd be getting single file or get everybody 2x2 and really try to create as much momentum as you can. And it looks like they're kind of figuring out what to do. A disorganized mess back here, as I would call this, KR.
The 17 of JD Crow now in front of this pack is the 31 of Todd Poston. The second car in this group, Pondo Co., right behind Poston. And I'll tell you what, Les Levy in that 62 machine, 4th car on the inside line in that Maker's Mark red. And that red is one of my favorite colors here.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the day for Les just to do something spectacular, KR. And it's going to happen at some point.
Well, someday that might happen. Hopefully we'll be around to see it.
I hope so too.
Hunter Reynolds in the 26, leading another lap as we begin at lap 34 of 80, creeping up on the halfway mark. Dana Osborne in the 88 to the outside of the 7 of Josh Milam, but he's going to tuck back into line. Chris Akers, last car on the lead lap. That 4 machine about not to be on the lead lap anymore, as our leaders have caught up to him. Akers going to stay on the yellow line. Everyone moves to the high side. And now Chris Akers going to join J.R. Johnson as only 2 cars that are not on the lead lap. Johnson, however, I believe is 2 laps down now.
I like that move that he did. He didn't really do anything. He just stayed on the bottom and let the leaders pass him, but that's going to allow him to be able to stay with this lead pack, because they had to take the long way around and, broke their momentum, broke their speed a little bit, and you can see he's going to be able to hang with this pack, especially with the 88 and the 3 being there, and the 21. So all the Candy Shack right here, ready to go whenever they need to. So we'll see how that plays out for them through this race. But KR, I'm noticing that pack being led by JD Crow. They're not gaining time at all. In fact, it looks like they're losing a little bit of time.
Yeah, they are 5 seconds behind our race leader, Hunter Reynolds. And they've been floating around that 5-second mark. Sometimes they gain a little bit, sometimes they fall back. And now they're all trying to get single file. That's 62 Les Levy, third car now in this line. So it's JD Crow, Pondo Co, Les Levy, Jimmy Reynolds. Sean Stevens in the 27 was a early front runner, finds himself in 11th spot now. And this entire group has gotten single file. We're about 5 to 6 laps away from seeing everyone on the pit road.
Yeah, I think for the second line of the rest of the field, I think obviously something's not working. They just lost 3/10 right there this lap to that lead pack. So if I'm them, I'm swapping people out, trying to figure out who's the best leader, who's the best pusher, and really kind of going for it. Or maybe changing the lineup a bit. I don't know. I know sometimes the outside line can by the wall can kind of work a little bit. I don't know how well it works in the cup cars around this iteration of Daytona, but I'd be trying anything and everything to catch this field, that first 6-car pack with Chris Akers, so 7 cars. They're just losing too much time to them every lap, KR.
They are falling back a little bit each time. Right now, though, they are 4.7 seconds. So, I'm sorry, 5.2. They're 4.7 seconds behind Dana Osborne. And yeah, that time jumping back and forth, it is hard to gain any time, but it is a lot easier to lose it. And they do seem to lose a big chunk here and there every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's due to the fact that the 9 car might have the coolest car, which he's not pushing too hard, which I think that's what is not helping them. As you can see, he's on the 17's bumper, and then he could get a little bit closer than that, but they're not really gaining speed. I mean, they're going. Looks like they're going a few miles an hour slower than that lead pack. So, I think the 63, the 711, and 343 all kind of have the same idea. They need to actually be pushing, which the 9's getting closer and closer to the 17's bumper, but not quite getting on his bumper. They got to try something, because they're sitting at about 5 seconds, a little over 5 seconds, so 5.3 seconds to the leader, and they're going to go side by side because the 17's not going fast enough for those 3 guys on the outside of this lane.
Well, we begin lap 40 of 80, getting to that halfway point. So far, we've only had 1 caution in this race. We have had 1 round of green flag pit stops, and we're getting ready to have another round here in a few more laps. A 26 of Hunter Reynolds. First round of green flag pit stops, had the race lead, came down pit road, and when everything cycled through, regained that lead. We'll see if he can do that once again as the field heads through the tri-oval here at Daytona. And Travis, we're on the downhill side of this race now.
Yes, we are, KR, and that means only one thing. Us speculating about fuel strategy and waiting for the massive wreck that might happen, and it might not, with how spread out this field is.
JD Crow still leads the second group of drivers, and they are still floating right at that 5.2 seconds off the race lead. Mark Mann in the 04 set quick time here tonight, running in second place. 26 of Hunter Reynolds was the second fastest time in qualifying, and well, he's leading this field for the moment.
Yeah, this backpack is just not doing anything. It looks like the 63 wants to go, but nobody's gonna go with them. They really need to get this together. They don't have the luxury to not really push like they are. But it looks like the 9's finally getting on to the 17's bumper, and it looks like his car is a little hot. I see him poking out at the nose, and at that point, KR, I think you just got to do the switch and have the 17 jump up to the top and let the pack just pass him and keep that momentum going. As looks like
Chris Akers
Motorsports hitting the pit road. KR, big lockup by the 31.
Chris Akers joined pit road as well, so Akers pitting with these guys. Akers was in that lead pack, just one lap down. 343 of Russell Hancock into his pit stall. So 3 Wide Motorsports hitting pit lane as a team together. That's going to break up some of the momentum here from this first group. Hunter Reynolds, Mark Mann, they're still running nose to tail, but then they have some space between them. And now everyone in this group on the pit road.
Ended in the pit road 3 wide. And they did that flawlessly, KR. Watching the 31 of Todd Poston, by the way, going to the pit road, locked them up. Oh, there was a little bit of contact there. I don't know who that was. Like a little bit of contact between the 7 and the 3 going to the boxes, and I believe Todd Poston got a time penalty. He hit the cone, and that's what I was trying to look at. So he's going to lose a lap, be a lap down now, but he's going to be out with the leaders again. That's unfortunate to see for the 31.
JD Crow in the 17 scored as the race leader. We're going to see if he's going to hit pit road, and he does. He brings his teammate Pondo Co down with him. The 40 machine at Jason Grames locking up the brakes, but stays off of the 9. And the 63 of Michael Hinton, now your race leader.
Yeah, kind of got odd man out. I don't know if didn't hear, pit calling, or just maybe he thinks he has a little bit more fuel. Maybe he can get lucky and cycle out, still with the lead pack with how spread out the field is. But I'm curious to see what the timing loop, or like the time split, will be on that previous pack with JD Crow and company versus Hunter and them, which it looks like they gained a few cars. And they're the 4 of Chris Akers and the 31 of Todd Poston. So Todd Poston is the first car 1 lap down, unless Chris Akers can get in front of Hunter. In that case, Todd Poston will still be first car 1 lap down. But it looks like waiting for my timing to update again, KR. But I don't think they gained any time whatsoever, as the 63 is heading off pit road as the pack flashes by him. So the 63 not going to get so lucky even with that lead pack, KR.
Well, once again, Hunter Reynolds retains the race lead as this thing cycles through. The 26 on and off pit road doing a great job. Chris Akers in the 4 hit pit lane a lap before Hunter Reynolds, and here he is now 2 laps down. Todd Poston, the only car 1 lap down. Chris Akers, JR Johnson, both 2 laps down. We have 16 cars still on the lead lap. Started 19. All 19 cars are out on the track, and your race leader continues to be the 26 machine.
Contact back in the pack between the 343 and the 63.
Yellow flag coming out. Let's take a look and see what happened. Michael Hinton in the 63 gonna smack that wall hard. Take one more look at this one.
It looks like he got a little bit of help from the 343, and that put him up into the wall and kind of sent him ricocheting down into Les Levy and collecting the 711 of Stephen Herman and the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds, along with a few other cars. Yeah, it's going to be the 343 of Russ Hancock into the inside wall and the 37 of J.R. Johnson hard into the inside wall. So you hate to see it for those guys. A rough race for 37 there, but that's gonna, I believe, have the 17 or the 31 of Todd Poston back on the lead lap.
So he will end up as the first wave around or whatever, the free pass.
The lucky dog.
Yeah, there you go. It's Todd Poston in the 31. Going to be appreciative of that. Now that, of course, that's the thing about a super speedway. If you have registered even a 0x from a bump draft and you're in that free pass position, that 0x will cancel out getting the free pass.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the lucky dog works in iRacing, because even after the caution is out, or as soon as you get, even if it's a 0x or anything like that, it registers, like you said, as car contact. And even if I've noticed in my experience that if you check up for a wreck, also if like the track is blocked in front of you, you check up and you're rolling 10, 15 miles an hour, that will also seem to iRacing's programming will recognize that, oh, hey, this person's going slow, he was in the caution, and it won't give you the lucky dog either. I could be wrong, but it's happened to me before a few times.
Well, Paul Servant in the 3, gonna win the race off of pit road. A very quick pit stop for the 3 machine. Hunter Reynolds comes off second, Mark Mann third. And with that said, guys, we're gonna step away for a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are out on the pace car. The field going to get back to green flag racing as our second caution of the night comes to a close. And we have a new leader out in front. That is a 3 of Paul Servant. He has Mark Mann in the 04 pushing on his back bumper as they're going to head off into turn number 1. Hunter Reynolds falling back a little bit, but that momentum starting to build in the outside lane as the 88 is going to abandon the 26. And so now he is going to have to wait for the 7 of Josh Milam to get to his back bumper. Meanwhile, the 04 Mark Mann makes a move to the outside. And now that outside lane gonna have some momentum to deal with. Here's the 3 of Paul Servant. Keeps his nose to the inside of the 04, not allowing Mark Mann to drop down in front of him. That is a good move by the 3 and the 21 to keep that 04 to the outside lane as they come across the start finish line. Lap 52 of 80 getting ready to be worked over here. We're on the downhill side of this one. Laps starting to wind down, and Travis, two cautions here so far, and it's bunched the field to back up. Todd Poston did receive the free pass. We're back to 17 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, looks like we're back to tight racing up front once again, which I saw that restart by the outside line, and it seems like when the outside line gets that start just right, they have a lot of momentum on that initial restart. So it'll be interesting to see playing out for maybe a green-white checkered possibility, and see if the outside line can make that work like that again. But 2x2 into turn 1 being led by the 3 of Paul Servant with the 04 of Mark Mann on his outside. Tight on the 21 and the 04 together. And that's going to allow Paul Servant to keep his track position in front of the 4, not allow him to even get close to think about clearing. And KR, they are pushing hard up front. And whenever I see a Candy Shack car pushing hard, I think of one thing, and that's a blown engine. So that's maybe something to look out for with the 21 being tucked up under that 3 so tight, and the 88 also being under the 21.
Yeah, that they have popped a couple engines here on our Sunday night broadcast, but I'll tell you, up until then, they do make some moves.
Yeah, they go fast, and then they don't go so fast. But and the 21 is all over the 3, and the 26 is all over the 04. We have hard pushing up front here. And I'm wondering when we're going to see somebody go to that top side and try to see if they can make that work. And it looks like the 7-Eleven was thinking about it for a split second.
I will say the pace has picked up. Todd Poston set the fastest lap of the race last time around. And this time around, no one going to top his lap time. Poston with a 44.32. That is our best lap of the race. So, yeah, drivers starting to pick up that pace.
Yeah, if there's anybody who would go to that top side, is the 04 Mark Mann is going to get his best shot of clearing that inside line. Going to cause a little bit of a checkup. He's not going to get cleared. Good shoving by the 21 of Daniel Holloway to get Paul Servant's teammate completely clear of the 04 Mark Mann. And Kara, the person that I was thinking that would be the one to go 3 wide would be the 31 of Todd Poston. But he's going to jump down to the bottom as soon as I say that and completely let me down. But that's all right. There's still quite a bit of racing left, and I'm assuming we're going to see people go to that outside line at some point before this race is over, and we're going to get some 3-wide action once again. But not a whole lot happened. I just got a shoving match between the 26 and the 21, and right now the 21 is winning with him pushing Paul Servant clear of Mark Mann once again. And it looks like he's almost going to get himself clear of Mark Mann. It's going to be close if he wants to jump up to the top, and he does. He timed that very, very well, not hampering that outside momentum at all. And I think that just gave him the race lead, KR.
He does have the lead for the moment. He has not cleared the 3 of Paul Servant, but that 21, after pushing Servant very hard. He now is packing that radiator full of air. That engine temp going to be dropping. So a good move all around for the 21 to jump up to that front like he has.
And a little checkup between the 9. I think that checkup is going to hurt that inside line. Big gap in the inside line, a full car length, almost a car and a half to the bumper of the 88. It'll be interesting to see if the outside line can capitalize on the momentum here. And Mark Mann is an excellent pusher, and he has two very capable pushers behind him in the 26 and the 7. And KR, you don't really think about it, but like the 3rd and the 4th car in line can really make a difference in runs, you know, how tight they are. And you're going to see that right here. In the 04, just going to be able to give the 21 a push all the way down the back straight, and that's going to allow the 21 to clear Paul Servant as he goes into turn number 3. Late clear, going to make him check up slightly. And the 3 of Paul Servant is clear to the outside, and he's going to go to the top. Looks like the 21 wanted to block him slightly. Mark Mann all over the 3's bumper. And the 3 of Paul Servant looks like he's going to clear the 21 going into turn 1, or it's going to be very close if he does. Oh, no, he doesn't quite get there. The 21 gets to his quarter panel as they go into turn 1, KR.
So Servant on the outside, Holloway down on the inside as they make their way down the backstretch. 22 laps to go in this thing. No one can make it on fuel from here. I think we're going to see him on pit road one last time, and that is here in about 6 to 7 laps, and that'll be our final pit stop for the night. As Holloway in the 21 on the inside lane, Paul Servant on the outside. Teammates running I should say side by side and nose to tail, and then you got quite the slew of Alliance Motorsports drivers. 3 of them stacked up in that outside lane. Mark Mann, Hunter Reynolds, and Josh Milam. Throw in Sean Stevens as well. So there's 4 cars right there all working together in that outside lane.
And you could even, you can throw the 62 of Les Levy there too. He's right up here back in the mix. And KR, I just want to correct myself. I was given some bad intel by a driver before the race about the fuel run, and I was told it's about 18 laps. So we're in contact.
Ooh, Paul Servant, big wiggle. That caused the 04 Mark Mann to lift. And somehow Mark Mann and Hunter Reynolds didn't make contact, and they're going to get back into line. Paul Servant now trying to get tight to the 88.
Yeah, I think that just being in a call together, being able to communicate that, him and the 7, Mark calling the checkup, Hunter going to the top, and Josh letting them back down into line, and it's like they didn't even miss a beat. They're back to being side by side with the 21. Fighting more and more as the 4 Chris Akers is going to peel off the pit road.
So side by side, the battle continues for the race lead. 19 laps to go now. And I think we'll see these guys on pit road here in the next few laps. The fuel window going to open up for the finish of the scheduled distance here in about 2 laps, or 1 lap, as you're saying, 18 laps of fuel. So here in the next lap, that fuel window is going to open up. Now it comes down to, do you plan for a green-white checker? Now, I think you have to. I think you run this tank all the way as far as you can. As
7-Eleven.
Stephen Herman's going to make the break for pit lane. Not sure if that was optional for him, but
I was thinking the same thing. You gotta look like you got a little free coming off the turn, and it's like, I'll just make it look like I'm pitting. Oh man, but yeah, definitely. I think we're gonna have enough fuel for them to run this tank out and have enough for 1 green-white checker, maybe 2. But yeah, we're coming up on the money stop, KR, and we've seen a lot of clean pit stops tonight. Hopefully that luck on going into the pits is still out here with them, and we're gonna see a nice hard racing till the end. And the 9 of Pondo Co. and the 17 of JD Crow gonna hit pit road together.
Yeah, they're teammates from the MAGA stable on the pit road. Jimmy Reynolds gonna join them just a little bit behind. Reynolds had lost the draft of this field. He needs to have a quick pit stop here, and hopefully, as we got one sideways, a big contact, and the yellow flag going to come out. And I believe that was Stephen Herman who got loose trying to get up to speed coming off of pit road.
Yeah, it looks like he got a little loose, got in the grass, and did his best to lock it down, but unfortunately, KR 27 of Sean Stevens couldn't quite get out of the way just in time.
So Stephen Herman got into the grass, hard impact, you're saying, with Sean Stevens.
Oh yeah, Sean had nowhere to go. Looking in his in car, just nowhere he could have went to avoid that.
We go on board with the 27 of Stevens. See Herman in trouble. He locks it down to stay off the racing surface, but it is too late for the 27 machine. John Stevens, heavy impact.
Yeah, everybody in front of him just got out of the way just in the nick of time, and Sean just second too late, and he's gonna be sitting in pit road, and I don't think he has a fast repair KR, as he's been on pit road for over a minute now. And I believe the pace car is coming out of turn 4, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see field hit pit road, which that makes JD Crow and Pondo Co look like geniuses. And that's also going to allow Jimmy Reynolds to be up near the front of this restart. I believe Sean Stevens had a tow, if I'm not wrong, KR.
Yeah, that engine had let go on him, and so he has had to take the flatbed back. But Pondo Co, JD Crow, and Jimmy Reynolds going to be 1, 2, and 3. Talk about hitting pit road at the opportune time. Mark Mann wins the race off of pit road. Hunter Reynolds, Josh Milam gonna follow behind him. Then Daniel Holloway and Paul Savine.
No, I think he just killed his car. He did something. Josh is slow coming out of pit road. I don't know if he stalled it or something like that, but check my whole session events. I don't see anything on here, so
maybe just allowing the fact that Hunter Reynolds beat him off pit road gave him some room to accelerate and getting into line.
That is probably the correct answer, because I am definitely overthinking it. But KR, with that last caution, the 4 of Chris Akers is back on the lead lap. He's in pit road, getting 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles with a clean car. And a big old Reese cup on the side. Gonna roll out of the pit road on the lead lap, being ready for a pretty much just a shootout to the end of the race here, unless we have a couple more cautions.
Yeah, it should be a good shootout as the 37 machine of JR Johnson peels off for pit road. So Pondo Co, JD Crow, and Jimmy Reynolds, who were on pit lane when the yellow flag came out, gonna find themselves sitting 1, 2, and 3. Very lucky break for those 3 drivers. Mark Mann in the 04 and Hunter Reynolds in the 26 going to be rounding out your top 5. And we're gonna get the green flag with 13 laps to go.
Yeah, I would say I'd say for the 17 and the 9, that was well-planned strategy, and for Jimmy, that right there. Jimmy Reynolds hitting pit road with the 9 and the 17, and now he's sitting P3 after he almost lost the draft. So, I mean, what a strategic mastermind the 28 car is. But yeah, you said 13 laps to go at the green flag.
Should be, yep.
Oh,
Unless we end up with a green and white checkered, but our scheduled distance 80 laps here tonight. Gonna have 13 laps to go when this green flag drops. Pondo Co and JD Crow, two drivers who can be very difficult to get around once they get out in front. I'm gonna see if this is gonna be a teammates locking out the front row, trying to keep the field behind them, as the 9 and the 17 are working together.
Yeah, they'll probably try that, but with the people that they have behind them, Hunter's behind him, the 21's behind him, the 88's behind him. It's going to be hard for them to do that, but the pace car is going to peel off. Green flag is out. Small checkup on the inside. The outside line is pretty formed. The 21 is on the 26 bumper, and it looks like that small checkup got Jimmy, out of sync, and that's gonna allow the 17 to clear the 9. I don't know if that was maybe a teammate playing move, but it didn't really pay off for the 9 car there. They just swapped positions. They really didn't gain anything, just kind of a wash there, but that's going to allow that outside line to start moving forward more and more. And that's going to get the 9 onto the 17's front bumper, possibly coming out of turn 4. Hunter's trying to do everything he can to get the 9 clear, but he just can't, and he's going to get clear finally. And that's going to allow the 9 to lead this lap care, but he has a pack of hungry wolves, and the hungry wolves being the Candy Shack Motorsports team on that outside line, ready to go.
Hunter Reynolds in the 26, side by side with the 9 of Pondo Co. They race down the back stretch. 12 laps to go in this one. 16 cars on the lead lap. Sean Stevens has made it back out on track, but he is 1 lap down. So too is the 7-Eleven of Stephen Herman. Those two drivers battling to be the first car 1 lap down. And Stevens right now has the advantage, as it looks like Stephen Herman going to be losing the draft here. He's fallen back kind of quickly. Not that we want to have another yellow, but Sean Stevens may be hoping for one.
I'm sure he would, after having the toe and stuff, but KR, it's Daytona. We're coming to the end of the race. We're going to be hitting 10 laps to go, so it's going to be a slugfest from here on out. And I'm just waiting for the moment for the 21 and the 88 and the 3 to try to go to the outside of Hunter here. And who all is going to go with them around the outside? Who's going to stick with Hunter? Or if, maybe Jimmy. Oh, the 21 is going to push Hunter clear of the 9. That's going to allow the 3 Candy Shack boys on the outside, being led by the 21 of Daniel Holloway. And the 9 is all over Hunter's bumper, but I think all that's going to be for nothing, as the outside line's getting a massive run, being pushed by the 88 of Dana Osborne coming down the back straight, KR.
With 10 laps to go, it is not the time to stay locked in. Everyone's starting to push a little bit hard. They don't want to give up any position, but 10 laps of running right on that back bumper will pop an engine pretty quick. And as fast as everyone is going here, we might see an engine let go, because they are trying to push hard here in the top 3 rows. It's going to be interesting. 9 to go now.
Definitely have to have one eye on the car in front of you and one eye on your oil temp, and just waiting for it to start flashing red so you can get some air into the radiator, because the 88's been on the 21's bumper almost entire time, and he's going to kind of make some space. And that's going to allow the 26 of Hunter Reynolds to get clear of the 21. Very close between the 9 and the 21 there. And there's Sean Stevens back up in the mix, still being scored 1 lap down. So he would be your lucky dog unless he had some sort of incident involvement with the caution, if there is one. and laps are winding down. We're still side by side racing hard, and I'm wondering who's going to be the first person to go to the top. And I mentioned him earlier, KR, but 31 of Todd Poston is right there with the 4 Chris Akers behind him.
Someone's going to take this 3 wide. We know the 4 of Akers isn't afraid to go 3 wide, and he's in that outside lane. Handy Shack Motorsports being separated by 2 other cars. That's the 63 of Michael Hinton and the 31 of Todd Poston, as the 21 of Daniel Holloway leads on that inside lane. Hunter Reynolds in the 26 staying pushing on the 21.
And the 63 goes up to the high side, gonna get split by the 31-4, and I'm assuming the 7 also. I don't know if he wanted to go to the top and hope people are gonna go with him, but 63 is dropping. He's gonna fall in line behind the 7 of Josh Milam. And KR, you're talking about the 4 being somebody who would go to that top side. I know for a fact that the 7 car, Josh Milam, would also go to that top line and try to make something work up there. And with how you got Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, Todd Poston, Chris Akers, Josh Milam, all on that outside line, all of them, hungry to get a win. And coming to 6 laps this time, I think the patience is going to start going more and more. There's a big gap to the 9 and the 21, and the 88 is going to shove Hunter clear of the 21 for sure going into turn number 3, KR.
Yeah, the 26 has the race lead, drops down to the lead inside line. The 21 of Daniel Holloway now sitting second car inside line, and we're going to start seeing that move more and more as that opening from the outside to the inside is there. These drivers are going to take it because we now have 5 laps to go. Hunter Reynolds out in front, and Reynolds, no stranger to victory lane, picked up the win all the way back on January 31st before we took 2 weeks off. So Reynolds going to try and go back to back here and become our first repeat winner this season.
Yeah, and getting that second win would get him locked into the playoffs there, but it's going to be hard to do that when the 9 of Pondo Co is going to try to go to that top side. A lot of space. The 21's going to go up there too. As soon as I saw the 21 was clear of the 88, I knew he was going to try to jump up to the top. And we're still 2x2 KR, 4 laps to go this time. And the 21's going to get clear of Hunter Reynolds. And we're starting to have some nice little dog fights for the top spot here, KR.
Yeah, they're starting to fight it out. 4 laps to go. Down the backstretch we go. Who is the 21? Wiggles up in front of the 88. Hunter Reynolds pushing hard on the 21. I said with 10 laps to go, now's not the time to get hooked up to somebody and keep pushing on them.
Yeah, now's the time.
Now's the time. Coming to 3 laps to go. As long as your engine isn't too hot before you start this, you can get about a 2 to 3 lap run where you don't have to get off the back bumper.
Oh. 21 decided he was trying to figure out where he wanted to go, and that's going to get the 88 all over his bumper and Hunter to his inside. Whoa, that could have been the whole pack right there, KR, but they keep it going out of turn number 2 down the Daytona super stretch. And still somewhat calm, it seems, if you want to call this calm.
I think everyone had to catch their breath after they sailed it off into turn 1 sideways.
Yeah, that would do it. And we have a couple cars being up top. Looks like is that the 40 of Jason Grams and the 37 of J.R. Johnson. And we're coming to 2 laps to go this time by. We're 3 wide in the back. I believe that is Jason Grams trying to make something work with the 63. Hunter Reynolds is clear of Dana Osborne. And it looks like the 21 is also, and looks like the 21's going to
go around. Big contact coming off of turn number 2, and we are going to go into a green-white checkered situation. And Daniel Holloway, Les Levy involved, Josh Milam involved.
Yeah, looks like the 21 was trying to block a little bit. Kind of got a little loose coming off the turn. He was in front of Hunter as he exited the turn, but his car kind of got stepped out from him and settled to the bottom, and Hunter was at his quarter panel when he decided to come right back up. And that surprisingly didn't collect as many cars as it probably should have. It still collected quite a few cars though, KR.
Yeah, quite a few getting into this one. Daniel Holloway in the 21 being turned. Coming off of turn number 2. The way these guys were driving, trying to seesaw back and forth, getting onto someone's back bumper, it was really only a matter of time, but they were doing it and making it interesting. But Holloway gonna come up, big time damage. Les Levy tore up. Several other cars involved. Josh Milam got some damage on his 7 machine. But we do go into our first attempt at a green, white checkered. And this has kind of scrambled the field a little bit. Dana Osborne scored as the race leader. No one coming down pit road. Well, here comes the 26 of Hunter Reynolds.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see all the guys that get damaged to come down pit road, but I'm noticing, KR, how the field is being scored. Dana Osborne, Pondo Co., Paul Servant, and JD Crow. So that is 2 Candy Shack drivers and 2 of the MAGA drivers lined up on the inside and outside. So we're gonna see almost a team standoff and who's the best pusher. And with some of the restarts that we've seen tonight, if that outside line gets a good start, KR, I wouldn't be surprised if the 9 is able to clear the 88. And then I think the 88's gonna then clear the outside. Calling it now. That's my Babe Ruth moment. Calling my shot.
There you go. Sean Stevens did get back on the lead lap in the 27 machine. I'd seen him starting to drop back to the tail of this lead pack group. Not a bad decision on his part. He was hedging his bet for a yellow. Not only that, but his competitor for the first car 1 lap down, that was Stephen Herman, and he had lost the draft. He was several seconds behind. So no reason to mix it up with the leaders when, you know, you can drop to the tail end of that pack and still hold your position.
Yeah, just holding, you know, you can like we said earlier, you can stay about 8 tenths back, about 8 car lengths off of the car in front of you. A little enthusiastic hitting the gas coming out of the pits there, almost sitting around like he was wanting to take the road course. But look, it's good to see the 27 back on the lead lap after hard contact earlier with the 7-Eleven. But KR, lights are off on the pace car, and we have a green-white checkered. Our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
Couple people chiming in on YouTube chat. Luke saying, you know, come on, JD and Pondo. Stan letting us know that JD can push, and Paul has his work cut out for him. So MAGA running at 1 and 2 in the outside lane. Then it is Candy Shack 1 and 2 on the inside. So here we go. Don't forget that 31 Todd Poston right there as well. Jimmy Reynolds.
Yeah, don't forget
Any
Jimmy
one of
and
these
Mark.
guys. Any one of these guys on the lead lap could walk away with the win here tonight.
Anybody lined up in that outside line can make something happen. And I'm sure you're going to see people jockeying for track position to try to get up to that top side, or, you know, maybe even force it through the middle like you see a few times. Very rarely do you see that happen here, but Talladega, see people force it through the middle all the time. But oh man, we get 2 attempts at this.
I don't know. I think we're only going to need this one. I think the drivers are going to get to the white flag at least. Because once you get to the white flag, that is it. Next flag ends it. Final
Wreckers.
lap. So, yeah. Pace car down and away. Dana Osborne and Pondo Co. lead this field to the green flag as we get ready for a green-white checkered attempt. Here we go. This race has been an outstanding one. 19 cars taking the green flag. All 19 cars still out on the track. 17 drivers on the lead lap. Everyone on the lead lap has a shot at winning this thing. Right now, Dana Osborne has the lead, and Travis, Pondo, and JD staying tightly together while the 88 and the 3 are pushing hard on each other as well.
Yeah, they got a horrible start, but the 04 and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds going to that outside line right now. Coming out of turn 3, contact to the inside line. 31 Todd Poston's going to save it. Almost come back in front of the field, and the 04 Mark.
Wow, Mark, man, was sideways through the trial, but we did get to the white flag.
Yeah, we're
now
still
they're
green.
crashing big time.
Yeah, we're still green. 88 and the 9 side by side. We're going to see who's the better pusher. And the 4 of Chris Akers having a shocking race tonight is, up here in the top 5, and he's going to tuck up behind his teammates, obviously, and give it all he's got for his teammates there. But Jimmy Reynolds is going to tuck up behind the 17 going into turn number 3. Unless something just absolutely insane happens, I think Dana Osborne's more than likely coming out of turn number 4 and is going to be taking the checkered flag and win tonight's race, KR.
The 88 wins the race. Paul Servant finishing second. Pondo Co. going to put it in the 3rd. Chris Akers crosses the line 4th, and JD Crow in 5th. But man, coming to the white flag, we had a huge stack up. So let's take a look at this one. Cars were all over the place after they got through the tri-oval. Several cars involved in this one. Josh Milan smacked the wall as well.
Yeah, they had it saved, and then it was wrecked, and they had it saved, and then it finally gave out, and they were 4 wide through the tri-oval, trying to make room for the 31 of Todd Poston. And everybody's space just kind of ran out, and that allowed that top, that top 6 just to start pulling away from the field. And luckily, iRacing didn't pull some shenanigans and try to throw the caution out, even though they took the white flag. Sometimes that happens. But I'm glad that we got to see a race to the end.
All right, let's go through our results. Your top 3, Dana Osborne, Paul Servant, Pondo Co. Your podium finishing drivers, and it's Chris Akers and JD Crow.
My time screen just went down. And then coming home in 6th place, the 28 of Jimmy Reynolds, followed by the 26 of Hunter Reynolds in 7th. Coming home in 8th, the 63 of Mikhail Hinton. In 9th place, 6-2 of Les Levy. And rounding out your top 10, the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
In 11th, Dan Harrington. 12th, Sean Stevens. Josh Milam, 13th. Russ Hancock, 14th. And Todd Poston in 15th.
And rounding out the rest of the field, 16th place, Jason Graham's in the 40 car. 17th, the 04 Mark Mann. 18th place, 7-11 of Scorman Herman. And bringing up the rear of the field, the 37 of J.R. Johnson.
All right, so let's kick this one off by talking to our race winner. That is the driver of the 88, Dana Osborne. You got your ears on, my bud?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about that?
Man, that 88 picks up the race win here tonight. New paint scheme, and you put it in victory lane.
Yeah, how about that, Chips Ahoy and Chris painting this thing? He did an awesome job on it.
Well, the 88, tell us about this green-white checkered attempt and what it took to put this car in victory lane in those last 2 laps.
Well, I knew Paul was behind me. He was going to stick with me, and I mean, he was double blinking there at the end for maybe a half a lap. I said, "You got this, man. You're going to get it there." I mean, what do you say?
Do what?
Hey, what do you say?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, the 88, man, nice job, though. A solid run. You pick up your first win of the season. And this 88, little tour up here in the celebration. You gonna be able to pass tech?
I probably not. You know, it's done blowed up.
All right, man. Well, any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
I want to give a shout out to my team, Chris, Paul, and Holloway there. I mean, they did an awesome job tonight. And I want to give a shout out to Chris also about this paint job. I mean, he did a great job on it, about that Chips Ahoy, you know, and the Navy. And to you guys for putting this race on, and, you know, and the league owners, you know.
All right, Dana, once again, congratulations. Nice job out there tonight.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, Travis. Well, I think you've caught up with our second place finisher. That is the driver of the 3 machine, Paul Servant.
Hey, Paul, man, you got me?
Yes.
It's like we always end up talking to you, and you're either winning races or you're pushing your teammates to wins, which, I mean, you could have worse problems to have, but...
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah, there was that big junk coming to the white flag. Was there a little bit of concern that they were going to throw the caution out and get you guys lined back up again for another attempt?
No. iRacing with their yellows, I mean, they usually don't call them anyway. They'll call it for one car going off into the grass, and then there'll be like a 5-car pileup on track, and cars stopped everywhere, and there's no yellow. So
that is true. Now on that last restart, I thought, that what we've been seeing throughout the race, you had your teammate in front of you, and you had 2 guys on the outside lined up together. Was there any doubt that if something was going to happen, were you going to try to make a move, or were you just going to be stuck on Dana's bumper through the entire 2-lap stint?
Well, on that right there, on that last restart, I was on Dana. I said we're going to get your cookie car a win, his new car. So
I mean, it is a sharp car. It looks very nice.
Yes, it does. So no, that's great. Got him a win with his new car, and Chips Ahoy or whatever.
Yeah, Chips Ahoy and Navy.
Yes, sir. So yeah, that was a plan to stay. I did not. Grats to Pondo. I didn't. Honestly, we didn't think he was going to put up that great. That good of a fight to come into the line. So great job on him.
Yeah, you guys had a little bit of the numbers advantage with Chris sneaking up out of nowhere and getting the top 5 finish. So overall for you boys at Candy Shack, I think it was a pretty solid finish for you guys tonight.
Yeah, we got to figure out a few things. I think the last update on iRacing, they did something to the car, but it was supposed to be for the road race. But after qualifying, so they definitely changed something. So I got to go back to school here and figure out what they changed and get better qualifying in.
Yep, and then come back a few weeks from now and see if you can slap it on pole, man. But good race tonight. You want to give any shout outs, thank yous to anybody out there, man?
Shout out to Candy Shack. Seemed that we had to fight all race, and it's fun. It makes us better. Congrats to Pondo for second. DJ or JD finished, was pushing that Pondo there, so good job for him. KR, Travis, you guys here, the league, everybody watching. That was a fun, hard fought race tonight. So congrats to everybody.
All right, man. You have a good night. We'll see you next week at the monster in the Northeast, the iRacing Super Speedway, man. So you have a good night.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Thank you. Have a good night, man.
You too, man.
All right, so that was our second place finisher, but now let's move on to the driver who ended up 3rd place here tonight. That is none other than Pondo Co. Pondo, you got your ears on, buddy?
Guess who's back? Back again. What's up, dog?
Man, Pondo, nice job out there tonight. We saw you and JD Crow, along with Jimmy Reynolds, come down pit road with about 18 laps ago, 19 laps ago. Caution comes out. Boom. You guys look like heroes. How about that call right there?
I mean, I actually like our call, even if the caution didn't come out. I think that we're going to be able to attack pit road without any entry exit issues like we've had prior to the race. But yeah, when that happened, I mean, we had to book it around the track to get before they came out, and we just happened to cycle it to where we were there. But yeah, it was an eventful race, to say the least.
Well, you bring it home in third place here, green, white checkered to settle this thing out. You had your teammate behind you for the restart, and man, you guys bring it home third and fifth. So how about that finish?
It was good. It's just a little bit outnumbered. I mean, got back to the green flag, and seemed like we had we just didn't quite have the push on the outside. I think JD might have been a little asleep there, but it happens. I mean, long race, this, that, and the other. Time and get back to but he did a great job, staying back in the gas after that, and it's just third's not bad. Just been a while since I've been in victory lane, so that's what you want. But man, it's Candy Shack boys. I mean, they got this league and this night locked down like so many others, and I like breaking it up. And I thought I was gonna do it tonight, but obviously that's not the case.
Oh man, a third place finish here. Solid podium effort by the 9. Nice job. Any other shout outs or thank yous you'd like to give?
No, you guys, I mean, the job you do, I mean, it's great broadcast. I mean, I think we're all in this world together. What's going on around us? I mean, blind to see. It's kind of weird that we wake up every morning, but this is a little bit of the normalcy to, strap in and do what we do, and you do what you do, and whoever's watching this, I hope we put some form of entertainment on for you, and yeah, that's what I hope.
All right, man. Well, nice job, and once again, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was Pondo Co, our driver, who finished a third place here tonight. So, Travis, that's going to wrap it up for us. Next Sunday, we're heading to the iRacing Super Speedway.
Yes, we are, KR, and I'd like to formally name iRacing Super Speedway as the Monster of Massachusetts, because it's just a giant Dover.
It is a giant Dover, and we hope to see you all there. So until next time, guys, stay safe. Mark your calendars for next Sunday, as it is going to be an outstanding race at the iRacing Super Speedway. So until then, have a good night, and y'all stay safe.